Hey everybody. So the only difference in what you're doing today is instead of finding, let's say, the 10th term or the 8th term or something like that, you're actually wanting to really find the first term. And then once you find the first term, you're going to write the actual equation out. So here it says one of the terms of the geometric sequence is A3 equals 18. So to make sure you understand what that means, A3 means the third term. So the third term is 18. And then it says the common ratio is 3. It says write a rule for the nth term. So when it says write a rule for the nth term, it means writing the formula out, and I'll explain that in a minute. So the formula we talked about was a n, where that's the nth term, equals a1 times r to the n minus 1 power. Okay, so what we got to do here to figure out, because what we don't know, we know the common ratio, so we know that that's 3. What we don't know is the first term. Now you could work backwards if you wanted to. That's one way to do this. But what we're going to do is, the first thing we did was write the formula, which we just did. And then the second thing you're going to do is plug in everything you know. So substitute the values. So we know R is 3, so I'm going to write 3 here. And then I know A3 is 18. So actually we're going to be doing A3 here. So I'm going to put 18 here. So we're using this to actually plug in the formula. Now since A3 is 18, so we're kind of making this 18, we don't know A1. And N, because we're dealing with A3, is 3. So this would really be 3 minus 1. So this 3 here came from the fact that we're using the third term. Okay, so if this was A5, so let's say it said A5 equals 21. Well, 21 would go here, and then 5 would go here. All right, so now we're just pretty much solving for this. So this becomes 18 equals A1, and A1 is just a variable. You could actually replace it with X if you wanted to, times, well, this is 3 to the second power, which is what? Well, 9. So 3 to the 3 minus 1 power is 3 to the second power, which is 9. And then to get A1 by itself, I'm just going to divide both sides by 9. So A1 equals 2. So it tells me the first term of this sequence is 2. And actually, if you wanted to, you could actually write out the sequence. So 2, if I multiply that by 3, I get 6. If I multiply that by 3, I get 18, which we should have because it said here the third term is 18. And you could keep going if you wanted to. And that's why I said one way you could do this is work backwards, so you know that's the third term. Since your common ratio is 3, to work backwards, you would just divide by 3 twice to get the first term. So 18 divided by 3 is 6. 6 divided by 3 is 2. So you could have done it that way as well. Now it says here, write the rule. And all that means is you're going to rewrite this by plugging everything in except the AN part. So it'd be AN, or also you don't plug in N, but AN equals A1, which we now figured out is 2. And then the common ratio is 3. So basically, when it says write a rule, you're basically just plugging in the A1 and the R. You keep the N there and the AN there. This is the rule here for the nth term. So to know the rule, to write the rule, you have to know the first term, which is what we figured out there. So hopefully this helps. Again, you're plugging it in and then just solving for A1 to get the first term. And then if you want to write the rule, you're just plugging in A1 and the common ratio.